I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, November the 29th, where we had an impressive Wednesday with a lot of bell-ringing quotes of high feeder calves and yearling feeders, those that are still out there, still bringing big money, but no help from the board. Well, actually, I guess your December live cattle on Wednesday were up 7 cents. 116.77. February was down a nickel at 120.72. January feeder cattle down 72 cents at 147.70. March down 65 cents at 145.35 as your feeder board and your cash feeders are going in opposite directions. But your fat cattle trade through Tuesday, about 7,100 head, mostly in the northern plains, 112.5 to 116, but heavy on the 116. With your weighted average on live steers at 115.63. I did hear some quotes at 116 that was outside that little cluster area there. My buddy Sheck from Northeast Iowa, which a lot of times they trade a buck or two back, he sold some fats there on Tuesday at 116, picked up at his place, and he's got a truck and knows exactly how to figure the freight, and he said it's straight up $2.50 from his place to the plant. So that would be 118.50, and now you can't figure it just like that, but that goes to show you these guys are pretty hungry for cattle. Your dress market 183 to 185. On Wednesday, had a little bit more trade, 114 to 116, 183 to 185. Did have some live cattle sell in Kansas, 116 to 116.75. So you can bet the rest of the guys are going to dig in hard, and if they don't beat up the board anymore the rest of the week, we may get at least steady money, or maybe even get a $1.18. Box beef cutout values have been lower this week and continued that way through the middle part of the week. Your slaughter's been decent, 356,000 through Wednesday. That's exactly the same as last week and the same week a year ago. Out here in southern Arizona, watch some cattle roll in for the sale at Wilcox Livestock Auction, Wilcox, Arizona, this Thursday. You can view and bid that sale right on dvauction.com, and they're going to have a good sale with some big strings of cattle that come in. I watched a lot of them come in on Wednesday there with Sunny Shores as we were talking things over, but going to have a nice sale at Wilcox, Arizona. But you look at some sales also on Wednesday. Western Video Auction, Western Livestock had a big video in Reno, Nevada. Had a lot of good cattle sell there. I picked out this one stick-out sale, the Taylor Ranch in Plush, Oregon. 180 head of black baldy steers there. Weaned 45 days, weigh 530 pounds for December delivery at $196. That's pretty smoky. And they also had some replacement cattle on there. Several strings of bred heifers, bringing from 1,400 to 15.25 per head. So real good sale there at Western Video Auction, and DV Auction, glad to be a partner with them and helping them collect their online video bids. But let's look at your other sales happen on Wednesday. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central, 145.93. That was up 4 cents, so basically steady from Tuesday, with a lot of calves on there, and they're going to pull down on any kind of a weighted average, even the 7 to 899 pound index price there. But OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma, had another 5,000 head of yearling feeders and long-time weaned calf feeders after their big 7,500 head calf day on Tuesday. But feeder steers there compared to 2 weeks ago, because you remember they didn't have a sale last week due to Thanksgiving, $2 to $4 higher. The calves were sharply higher on Tuesday, but John Cooper sent me a quote right off the block after he got done selling them. I mean, a heck of a nice fancy string of Gardner Angus sired steer calves there, long time weaned, good as yearlings, but you just don't see light 7-weight yearling cattle, but they're sure enough good hard feeding calves right there. 258 head of steers, weigh 714, 169.75. You think you have to be up in Nebraska in the Sandhills or somewhere to get a big high dollar quote like there? You won't see a better quote than that anywhere. The last 2 weeks or the next 2 weeks happened right there at the world's largest there, OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma. And sure glad John sent me that whenever he wasn't making fun of my beard. You know, not all of us can have a 5 o'clock shadow at 10:30 in the morning. But let's look at winter livestock auction, Dodge City, Kansas. They had a heck of a good sale there. Steers steady to much as $7 higher. Feeder heifers were about that much higher too. Everything higher there except some middleweight heifer calves. And I tell you what, everybody's just crazy about the steer calves right now. But they're at Winter Live in Dodge City. Impressive yearling quote there, 59 head of steers there, really good condition on green yearling cattle, weighed 808 pounds at 159.60. You won't find a quote much better than that anywhere either, but right there in the Southern Plains. But some other individual quotes on some calves. Bassett, Nebraska, now that's where you get the big high dollar quotes there, but that's some light calves, 66 head, 448 pound steers at 196.50. Very impressive. And then some friends of mine there in South Central Missouri at the South Central Regional Stockyards in Vienna, David Patton and Sons, good people there, and some of my favorite people, especially right there in that part of the country. Got a real nice sale barn there, had a nice calf sale. 103 head of 529 pound steer calves bring 176.50. I haven't talked to anybody from that sale, just picked it up off of Cattle Market Central, but I would say Jimmy Craig would have had something to do with those cattle whenever it's all said and done. But that's your feeder flash for Thursday.